14:20 in the morning for this January 6th, 2023. Geez, you say that word January 6th, and that kind of takes a whole different meaning nowadays for some unknown reason, but whatever. Thank you for making this part of your morning. Today's show is brought to you by Rucket Sports and RucketSports.com. Use promo code 1420RUKK at RucketSports.com for all your backyard training needs and get 10% off with our promo code and the whole bit. You guys know the drill by now, I would think. Anyways, Team Canada won the gold medal last night, the World Junior Hockey Championships in Halifax in a 3-2 overtime win. The thrilling hockey game, great game. It looked like Canada was going to win about 2-0 score, but for about 50 seconds in the third period, late in the third, the Czechia. It's not Czech Republic anymore. It's Czechia. They scored two to tie the game up. A couple of just crazy bounces that happened to make the game a 2-2 hockey and extended overtime, and the 3-on-3. We'll get into that in a second, but it was a great tournament all around. We've discussed this at length at how it's a great thing for hockey to be able to put all the shenanigans behind us, not forget about it, but put it behind us for a couple of weeks and just watch hockey and enjoy the tournament like we used to. And then seeing these kids play some great hockey. The Connor Bedard story, we talked at length, or everybody talked at length about how that kid just continues to marvel night in, night out. He was held off the score sheet last night against Czechia, but he got one on Wednesday night, I guess it was, against the United States in a great hockey game. I think that the Americans kind of got, I'm not going to swear early in the morning, but they kind of got screwed in that second period there. They should have tied the game up, made it 3-3. The goal was called off. International rules, I guess. I never thought anything of that goal when it was scored. If you guys are going to go back and see the tape, maybe I'll put it up on YouTube or whatever it is there. But it looked to me like that goal should have counted, and it should have been a 3-3 hockey game at that point. But international rules are international rules. I don't know enough about them. We're so used to how the rules are here in North America and the National Hockey League and junior hockey, and so we don't follow international hockey enough to know the rules. But to me, I think the Americans kind of got bent over a little bit on that goal. It should have been a 3-3 hockey game at that point. Didn't much matter. Canada ended up winning that game 6-2, but a 3-3 game is a lot different. It could have been a heck of a different turnabout with that goal being disallowed. But anyways, Canada come back. They won that game 6-2 to set the game up with Czechia, who beat Sweden also on Wednesday night. You know why Sweden will never win? Too many Swedes. Sweden just can't get out of their own way in these tournaments. It's unbelievable. Even yesterday, they ended up losing to the U.S. In the bronze medal game in overtime in an 8-7 game. There wasn't much defense and wasn't much goaltending happening. But once again, Sweden couldn't get out of their own way. Sweden will never win because they got too many Swedes. Very, very simple. An old Don Cherry reference there. I'm not being that guy. It's just an old joke that me and my friends have, and Don Cherry and Canadians right across the country. Too many Swedes. Remember that one. Anyways, get back to Canadian game last night. Bedard didn't get any points. Dylan Gunther was the overtime hero. He scored another one earlier in the game. He got the first one, I believe it was, and he had a heck of a game. He's an NHL guy. He's a Phoenix Coyotes, the whole bit. The other guy, Shane Wright, he got a goal last night as well in a Bedardian kind of a moment. Great solo effort to make it 2-0. It was a heck of an effort by a good hockey player. He seems to me be the kind of guy that maybe should ask his agent or ask the Seattle Kraken maybe to go back to junior for a little bit of a seasoning, and maybe I think he needs a little bit of a wake-up call. I don't like the kid. I'm going to flat out say I don't like his demeanor. Ever since the draft last year when he didn't go first overall, and he didn't get taken by the Montreal Canadiens. Apparently, there was some sort of a handshake agreement, and the Canadiens went a different route right at the draft, at the deadline there, and they went with a big defenseman, because you can never have too many big defensemen. And then Shane Wright, when he finally got drafted by Seattle, 4th overall, I think he ended up going. He kind of glared at the Montreal Canadiens brass and gave them kind of a dirty look. And ever since then, I've kind of had a not a great feeling about about Shane Wright. He just has that look of entitlement about him. There's something about that I just didn't like. I didn't think he had a great tournament playing for Canada as the captain. Yeah, he scored the big goal last night and a great effort last night on his birthday. So happy birthday to you, Shane Wright. You got that goal, but I think he needs a little bit of growing up and a little bit of a wake up call. But before he goes back to the National Hockey League, I think the best thing for his career personally would be for him to go back to junior. Kingston, I think he played at. Doesn't much matter. Maybe ask for a trade to a Memorial Cup contender, go and win yourself a championship, get some confidence, play a little bit more hockey, and maybe grow up a little bit. That's my advice to you. I don't know if you're going to ever listen to this or anybody's ever going to tell you to listen to this, but that's my advice to you: is maybe go back to junior, grow up a little bit, and try to find some fun in the game, because it doesn't seem to me that you enjoy the game a whole bunch. And just by the look of everything that you have about you, there's just something not right there. Maybe it's just first impression, and get off my lawn, old man that I am. But anyways, Canada got the win last night on a 3-on-3 in overtime. I don't like it at all. I think it's ridiculous that you just decide a world championship with 3-on-3 hockey. You change the game completely. It's not the same game you play throughout the first 60 minutes, and then all of a sudden it's 3-on-3. It changes the dynamic of the game. It changes the way the game is coached. It changes the amount of players that get to actually participate in the game. 3-on-3, you probably get down to maybe 9 guys, maybe 9. Like, it looked like Canada was going to roll with 6 for that overtime last night, the way they did. But you might get down to 2-9 guys from the regular 18 to 20 guys that you use if both goalies play. You know what I mean? But it changes the game completely. I don't think it's right. I think that they should go full on. They got all night to play, especially in these championship games. They got all night. I understand there's TV constraints and the like, but they're not flying anywhere. They're not going anywhere. Maybe it's because beer sales are closed down at 10 minutes left in the third period. They don't want people there tearing the walls down to get beer. I don't know. I think they should play the game the way it's meant to be played, especially for a world championship. I understand in the NHL in the regular season, because they have travel constraints and they got other things they have to do, but to have a world championship where you're the only game in town, you got nowhere to go, your chartered flights, the rest, they're not going to turn it off for your regular scheduled programming, whatever they used to do on TV to get things back on track. But I don't think that a championship of that caliber should be decided by 6 guys. I'm glad it didn't go to a shootout, because that's even more ridiculous to decide a championship on that. Imagine if the NHL did that with Stanley Cup playoffs. I don't like it. But Canada got the victory. Hard-fought win. Great tournament. The people of Halifax seem to be having a great time. That Heave Away song was fantastic all tournament long. It was great to watch. It was great to see hockey at the forefront in Canada. We went out a couple of different times. On Wednesday, we were at Hudson's, I believe it was, Hudson's Brew House here in Lethbridge. Went and had some pops, and the people were having a great time watching the game, wing night, the whole bit. So it added to it added to it. People cheering, having a good time. We haven't been able to do that with the World Juniors in a while. I remember last year the COVID train that hit this area, and things were shutting down and the like. It was a bit crazy around here. And then 2 years ago, well, there was nothing, right? So and then actually last year the tournament got canceled because of COVID halfway through. But anyways, it was a fun tournament. Great to watch Canada win. It's always good to see your home country win. And no sour grapes here that Canada won 3-on-3. I'd rather see them win. But if they would have lost, I would have said the same thing about the 3-on-3. It's ridiculous. I don't like it at all. It shouldn't be, like I said, it should not be decided that way. My opinion, I'm entitled to it. My show, listen if you want. Thank you for listening to this show. It's picked up pretty good steam. We're at over 850 downloads for the month of January already, which is well ahead of our normal trend, which thank you very much for everybody who's been listening to 1420, Hey Blue, the foul tips and everything we got going on here at World Head.